Okay, let's start to put everything together now. We're going to draw multiple images. We're going to put images on top of other images, and we're going to combine that with a print statement as well. So the very first thing we're going to do here is just make sure that we are importing the print image function from the goodies module. So from goodies, import print image. So in this case, I'm actually going to start my program with just a simple print statement. Let's just say I'm going to give it a title. So a robot in a spaceship. Okay, so this is going to be my little scene here. I'm going to run this. This should just display the sentence there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Google image search to find an image of a spaceship. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I've searched for spaceship interior. I'm going to pick this hand-drawn one. Remember, I'm not going to right-click on the preview on the left. I'm going to right-click on the preview on the right. Go copy image address, not copy image address. I'm going to go back to my editor. Okay, so in here, I'm going to use my print image function now. So I'm going to put that address or that location inside the quotation marks. I'm going to run my code just to see what it looks like. Okay, it's way too big. So it's taking up more than the size there. So I'm going to use my numbers to shrink it down a little bit. So I'm going to make it a width of, let's say a width of 400 and a height of 300. See what that looks like. Okay, kind of looks a little bit like that. It can probably maybe be a little bit wider, maybe 500 and 300. Okay, cool. All right, so now I've got my background and my text. I'm going to draw the little robot now, and I'm going to position the robot into my background here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to print that image of the robot, which was logo.png. So if I run that now, you'll see what happens is, by default, it will draw the image underneath the last thing that it's drawn. Okay, so notice when we displayed a robot in a spaceship and we did print image afterwards, it displayed the image underneath the text. And then when I print a new image, it's going to display it underneath the previous one. So that's where it's showing by default. I'm going to try to put this robot into this seat here. So I'm going to change the size for one. So I'm going to make it a little bit, maybe make it 80 and 80, make it a little bit smaller. Okay, there he is, a little bit smaller. And I'm going to try to position him on here. So I don't know exactly where that is. So I'm going to use some trial and error. So remember, I'm going to pick it up from the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to use these two numbers afterwards to control how far along the right I'm going to push it and how far down from the top I'm going to push it. Okay, so that looks a little bit, let's just see here. I reckon that's about maybe 300 and 300. Let's see. Okay, not quite. Let's make it 280. So I'm just going to try to finalize the left position first. Oops, not 2,800. That's 280. Okay, that's looking pretty good in terms of its left. Now I'm going to push it up. So that's probably going to be let's say 260. See what that looks like. Nope, not quite. Let's do it some more. 240. Nope, let's go 200. That's probably too high. Let's go 220. So it's probably going to be there. Okay, so there's my robot sitting inside the chair there. Doesn't look quite right. Doesn't look quite perfect, but that's okay. And just for fun, I'm going to just add another robot as well. So I'm going to copy that line of code there, and I'm going to change the position. Maybe make this robot a little bit bigger. So maybe the parent of that robot. So let's make it 160 and 160. Okay, let's say that's a mummy robot. And I'm going to have that robot maybe over here somewhere. So that's going to be, I don't know, maybe 380. Yeah, pretty good. And then I'm going to push it up. So let's make that 120. Maybe a little bit to the left so its hand isn't sticking out of the border. Maybe 340. Yep, 350. So I'm using trial and error to finalize one number before I go to the next number, rather than trying to change two numbers at once. And then this one, let's push it up a little bit. So let's make it 100. Okay, I think that's kind of okay for now. So that's how we can use print to display some text, a print image to draw the background, and then 2 other print images to draw the little characters.